we struggled in a lot of areas in this game. It was tough, really, on both sides of the ball. The start to the game was difficult, and so that was disappointing. The 3-point shooting was certainly an issue. I thought we had some good looks and just had some bad luck. But tomorrow will be a new day, and we'll circle the wagons and find ways to get better.
You got a couple guys back tonight in Brogdon and LeVert. What did you think of their performances in their first game of the new year, really?
Well, I thought that I really liked the way we started off the game offensively. We were playing fast. We were moving it. We were creating good shots. We weren't making all the shots, but there was a really good spirit with what we were doing. I thought they both moved well. Malcolm did not come back in after the early third quarter run. I still got to talk to the trainers about exactly where he's at. Hopefully he's okay, but I don't know that yet. And I think Caris, for a guy that's been out 10 days and hasn't had a practice with the team, to come back and play a significant number of minutes and do some good things, was a positive sign.
Tonight was you guys' first game of the second half of the season. Where do you feel like the biggest area for growth is for this team from the first half into the second half?
Well, wow, what a question. I think there's a tough question to ask after a game like tonight. I mean, we'd been playing a certain way over the last 5 or 6 or 7 games, and having two guys like Malcolm really hasn't played in a month, and Caris has been out, as I mentioned, 10 days. I just think it's hard to evaluate the whole situation after a game like tonight. I do like where we've been trending in the last couple of weeks. Our energy's been good. Our defense has been defiant. In general terms, and we've moved the ball very well. We don't have a lot of wins to show for it. Our game against Brooklyn was a great effort. The game against Utah obviously was a great effort. 3 nights ago in Boston, we did some very good things. And I just think we got to keep working at getting our entire team back. I saw T.J. Warren today, doing running on the floor for the first time in months. Actually, the first time since I came here, back in June. And so, that's a heartwarming thing to see. So, it's a long season. It's game 42, and it'll go by fast, but there's a lot left.
So is TJ out of health and safety protocols, Warren?
Yeah, he is. He is, and I neglected to mention that before the game.
And then how difficult is it to kind of just recalibrate when you get 2 starters back, obviously, who are a big part of the team, when you've been kind of scrambling it and plugging in holes for 2 weeks?
Look, it's never seamless, and in this case, you're talking about 2 of our highly skilled guys that have been out a significant amount of time. And Malcolm's had a couple of practices over the last couple of weeks, but there really hasn't been a lot of quality practice time. Most of it's day between 2 games and, stuff like that. So, and those are non-contact, walk-through-ish type situations where, you just really can't push it. So, hey, we'll come in tomorrow. We'll take a look at a few things. We got to look at Phoenix. They're obviously a great team. They had a good win last night in Toronto, and we'll have our hands full with them. But we're going to play better than we did tonight.
Do you view the point guard position as kind of the most important position on the floor in terms of leadership, setting the tone, being the head of what you're trying to do at both ends of the floor?
You know, there's been a lot of attention that's turned to the wing position, you know, in the last 2 or 3 years with the evolution of the game. But, you know, point guard play, it's going to start with the guy that handles the ball the most. And so, you know, just seeing Malcolm out there at the beginning of the game was great to see. Just great to see. Beginning of the third. But, you know, we were playing him 5 minutes at the start of each quarter with the hope that we could finish each half with him. And I talked to him about that before the game, and he was okay with it. You know, he was good with it. But it's just, you know, just 5 minutes. You know, you just get into the game and then you're coming out. In just 5 minutes, you get into the game and you're coming out. So that's tough. But, you know, hopefully, you know, he did okay and didn't have any setbacks. But I need to talk to the trainers. I don't know yet.
Justin, what did it mean to have Malcolm and Caris back out there tonight?
It was good to have him back. You know, get a game under our belt of trying to get things kind of back to where they normally are, to get readjusted again to having those guys back in the lineup. But it's always good. I mean, there's a lot of tension that those two create. And, you know, they just came back from, you know, having COVID. So I think they did a good job. I think they gave us everything they could. And, you know, hopefully we can capitalize on this. And as far as them being with us, get used to it again and, you know, hopefully get some points on the win column.
And Caris said you all kind of like maybe a step too slow, a rotation too slow on defense. So what do you think maybe led to that tonight and led to some of those? I mean, they had some tough ones, but then there also was some open ones.
Yeah, I mean, what led to it, I'm not quite sure. But, you know, at the beginning, they didn't really feel us. And when you play a team, or especially players like that, they see a couple go easily. Then after that, there's not really much you can do. So I think it was the start. And not allowing them to feel us, being closer, you know, on their shots and stuff to where they have to work for it, and then later on and trying to get the rhythm. They had the rhythm off the jump, and it's hard to stop that.
And obviously with Caris and Malcolm coming back, I know Malcolm had left the game afterwards, but they're going to get their minutes. They're going to get opportunities. Did you all, I don't know, because you've had your role change throughout your career, did you talk to, I don't know, a guy like Dwayne or Kiefer about how they filled in and maybe how their roles changed, just how to handle it?
I haven't yet, but I probably don't have to say much to them because those two dudes are just always been really, really good teammates. Their energy stays the same, how they come and prepare, how they come and cheer for the teammates, how they come and speak and communicate and talk and bring that energy has been the same regardless of if they've been on the floor or not. So they did actually a really, really good job of it. I mean, I'm sure at some point I will talk to them a little bit as far as just telling them to just keep doing that. You know, I don't have to go and explain much to them because they see how this works. They're both smart guys. And, again, they're both just good teammates. So,
Justin, tonight was the first game of the second half of the season for you guys. Where do you feel like this team needs to grow the most from the first half into the second half of this year?
The most? Jeez. I don't know if I can say the most, but I think we need to be better defensively. I think first and foremost we need to find a way to where we have the same high energy effort and selfless play from the jump every game. We tend not to have that each game, and then from that being better defensively. I mean, as far as scoring the ball and, you know, getting shots and generating good shots and things like that, we do that well and do that in our sleep. We need to find a way to have our energy and effort to be high, to play together on the defensive end and get stops.
Hopefully, with guys being back consistently now, how important will it be to have some continuity again? How beneficial can that be going out west?
Yeah, it'll be very important for us. Again, you know, two very, very important guys, and even, you know, getting Goga back, and I mean, I don't know how long Isaiah's been back. All those guys back, just to get guys back feeling, you know, getting back comfortable to having people in places that we're used to having them. You know, not feeling like we have holes here and there. I think it would be good. And just having our teammates together too. You know, because we do enjoy being with one another, playing with one another, and going through this battle with one another. So I think it'd be good for us. You know, hopefully sooner or later we can get that continuity and, you know, again, get some wins.
How did it feel to get back out there, and what was it like to just wait it out in quarantine and isolation?
It definitely felt great getting back out there, you know, with my teammates and just being around the guys, you know. Being in isolation is definitely tough for anyone who's had to do it. But like I said, I'm just glad to be back with the team.
And then, obviously the game didn't go the way you wanted it to. So, what were they doing, maybe defensively, to make it so tough to just get some continuity going there early?
I think our problem was on defense. We were in scramble mode all night. We didn't close out to their shooters hard enough. I know myself. I had 3 or 4 possessions where, I didn't close out hard enough to shooters, and they were making a lot of shots tonight. And that was the game. They were comfortable. I think everybody on their team was hot, all of their guards and wings, and we just couldn't get a stop.
When other guys were in their isolation period, they mentioned that when they stepped away from the team, they were able to kind of see the game a little differently watching the team play. Did you have a similar experience? And if so, what kind of did you see about this Pacers team that you maybe didn't notice when playing?
I don't know if I saw anything different. I think that we were playing good basketball despite, only winning one of those games. I think we were playing really good. Our energy was good on both ends. We defended well. We just, kind of had some tough luck on a lot of those games. But I think we really competed well during that time. Obviously, tonight was a different story.
It took some time for you to all to kind of mesh again, because the first time you had been out there in a while, Malcolm as well.
I mean, it's definitely been a while, since we've all been out there together. I'm not going to say that's the reason why we didn't play well tonight. We just didn't play well. We didn't come out aggressive enough defensively, like I said.
How are you spending the last 10 days? How'd you get through it? What was that like?
A lot of rest, testing every day, and resting, watching games. That was pretty much what I was doing, not much anything.
Did you have any symptoms?
The first couple of days I did, and then after that I didn't really have anything.
Tonight began the second half of the season. What's kind of your general feel about looking back at that first half? Obviously not where you want, but your outlook then moving forward too.
Well, the blessing of the NBA is, it's 80-plus games. So we still got, 40 games left? So it's a lot of games left to kind of correct what we saw that we did wrong in the first half of the season. And I think that it's a lot of time left to still do what we want to do. But we got to make that commitment to do it.